Kombat 1, 2, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 were almost remade to the point where even Ed Boon was pushing for WB to make this happen. However, ultimately, like we do know now, Warner Brothers did step in and they canceled the project due to licensing issues, and that's essentially all we really knew about this whole Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 remake for the longest time. But that just changed within the last month. So of course, what's up guys, my name's Dynasty, and today we're discussing everything that we now know about the Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 remakes, because it turns out Dark Side of Gaming got in contact with somebody who was working on the team designing all three of the remakes for the Mortal Kombat franchise. It's insane to even see what was being said by Ed Boon, by the person working on the project. It's pretty much the full story for the very first time ever. So of course, if you guys want to read the full interview, a link down below. Today though, I'm highlighting all the things I think are important, because like I mentioned, for the first time, this is like the full story of what was really going on behind the scenes of this remake of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and UMK3. So with that said, let's break this down and let's get into it. So first things first, it says here, one night, the person responsible for recreating the sprites received a phone call from WB's chief legal counsel, who said she'd been following that project and was very impressed by their work. However, as you may have guessed, WB's chief legal counsel told the team to take down its Mortal Kombat HD website effective immediately, and that they could not make a game without legal repercussions. Also says there, all seemed lost until a team member signed a licensing agreement which gave iBallistic ownership of the artworks, SFX, music, etc. The eventual goal was to approach WB and NetherRealm Studios about partnering to produce Mortal Kombat HD. Following that, says since then, the new team had been working on the project, and in 2016, it finished a playable version of Mortal Kombat HD in Mugen. That version will be pitched to Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios in order to convince for an official Mortal Kombat HD game. And to the team's surprise, Ed Boon was so impressed that he got them in touch with Warner Brothers. So even the one, the only Ed Boon himself was pushing for this to happen. Now this next quote is from the source of the article, the person working on this entire trilogy of games being remade. It says here, when the presentation had ended, we were put in touch with a WB business rep and told that we need to partner up with a professional development group if we were going to bring this project to fruition. The only catch was that our team would need to do all the legwork in approaching these development teams. This included negotiating the price and narrowing down the best development team for the job. After nearly 3 months of hearing pitches from various dev teams, the group narrowed down the short list of devs to just one. It was at this time Warner Brothers finance rep Rene profit and loss and determined that unfortunately, the development cost would be too high and thus too risky for an endeavor for WB to take on. So after the first meeting, they were told to find a dev team. They found a dev team, but the cost to make the game apparently was just way too risky for WB to go and say, okay, let's do it. So from there it says, the team was told to try again next year in 2017, as that Mortal Kombat HD game could possibly be used to help market a future game in development. And since the team had a gem on its hand, it decided to further invest on it. So they pretty much doubled down and said, you know what? We got a great game here. Next year, we're going balls out, and let's see if WB will take the risk to make the game happen. It says there next, still the team wanted something more and decided to hire an actual development team and began designing the Mortal Kombat game engine from scratch. I think before that they were using like a Mugen build, so from scratch now, they're building this game. According to our source, the team hired their own development team because the cost of using a well-known studio to program the game was just way too expensive. So everything was being done in-house from scratch. They were giving their all to make this game happen. Remember, this is 2017. Now it says next, the developers also developed tools to efficiently allow non-programmers to edit hitbox and hurtbox information visually. Flags could be set within the editor to allow animations to trigger and to affect the gameplay physics, gravity, hit stops, and much more. Now this is where things change. Moreover, alongside the HD remake of the first Mortal Kombat, the team planned to remake both Mortal Kombat 2 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So the demo they were showing WB and Ed Boon were the MK1 remake, but after doubling down for this 2017 approach, this pitch, they said, hey, let's remake Mortal Kombat 2 and UMK3. Now this is the last quote from the source. They say, at the end of August, we were once again in front of Ed Boon, this time presenting a playable version of Mortal Kombat Returns. Ed loved it, and not soon after, he advocated to WB executives that they should talk to us about partnering to release the game. After several pitches later to the highest level of WB's production, finance, and sales teams, the team received a call saying, "Your project is heading toward a green light." So late 2017, early 2018, everything is going well for this team. It seems like this Mortal Kombat remake is gonna happen. However, the last paragraph reads, "After about a week, another phone call. Sorry. We've decided to go in a different direction and we won't be needing your group. We can't trust development of such an important project to a team without any completed game titles." This occurred around mid-January 2018. Now, the closing statement of this article reads, "According to our source, the team never received any further explanation as to why Warner Brothers initially approved and then rejected the project." And this is crazy because, like I just mentioned, for the longest time, all we really knew was there's a team working on a Mortal Kombat 1 remake. WB saw that, they stepped in because of licensing issues, they stopped it from happening, and that was it. But like I mentioned, this new, source talked to Dark Side of Gaming, gave him a full interview, like I mentioned earlier, linked down below, and explained the entire process of what went on. I know for me personally, I didn't even know that there was going to be a Mortal Kombat 2 and a UMK3 remake on the way as well. And just looking at these screenshots, it's insane just how beautiful this game was looking. Like, this game was looking so damn good. And like I mentioned, 2018, January, that's when they canceled this project officially for the last time. So that was a year ago. They would have had a year to complete all these games. Of course, MK11 drops in 4 months. This team would have had like a year or so to complete the project, I'm assuming. I mean, even Ed Boon was pushing for this to happen, so it's not like people weren't pushing for this. WB stepped in, they said, "Hey, we just can't trust the team with zero experience." And it's understandable because they're investing money into a project being worked on by a team that had quote-unquote zero experience, despite the fact that this, the version they were playing looked amazing. I can see the WB's stance on this. It just sucks because ultimately everybody wanted this to happen. I want this to happen. Chances are you want this to happen. Looking at these MK2 screenshots of Baraka, I know you wanted this to happen. And there are rumors currently right now that there is a studio working on a fighting game from the 90s on 3 different titles. And it's meant to be like on the Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox One. It's like a remake of those classic 90s fighting games. And there's been some rumors that it might be Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. But we still really don't know what's going on. It could happen, it could not happen. Maybe WB found, like an official company who has the amount of experience they were looking for to do this. But we don't know at all. It just sucks because, if anything, they could have had this team been there. They could have hired another dev team and work together to make this happen. Like, it sucks how these guys were working on this project for like 2-3 years or so, and it got them nowhere. Now, thankfully, like everything out there in the world, now we're seeing a lot of these assets, assets from this game being leaked out there, and the gameplay you're seeing in the background is pretty much somebody who grabbed the assets from the Mortal Kombat 1 HD remake and they made their own version of the game. So I think over time, eventually, we'll see Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 remade entirely using assets that this team put together. But we just don't know when, in fact, it's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to leak. It's bound to. Like, the files are out there. It's just a matter of when. And we don't know when because if it leaks, it's not going to be official. I know currently, there's still like a Mugen build where you can play throughout the entire Mortal Kombat 1 game using high-res versions of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So it's out there. It's just a matter of something getting leaked. So time will tell. And it sucks. It sucks because, like I mentioned, this would have been the perfect thing to go alongside Mortal Kombat 11, and it's not happening. So there you have it. It's like the full story of what went on with the Mortal Kombat 1 HD remake. They were even remaking UMK3 and MK2. That blows my mind. What do you think of this, though? I'm super curious. Of course, if you guys did like the video, please take 1 second, drop a like on it. Like I mentioned, link to the full article down below. Shout out to Dark Side of Gaming for getting their hands on this exclusive interview. It's super interesting to read. Go read it. Till next time, I've been your host, Dynasty. Guys, please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Your setups, you one of the greatest. You deserve more exposure, man, you underrated. To all the dynasty haters, promise you'll love him later. Y'all gon' react like he did when he seen the trailer. But hold up, let me hit y'all with a twist. Wait, I'm Sub-Zero, the rap game is the Lin Kuei. You see, I've been a fan of Dynasty for years now. GTA, MK, and Justice, I'm still down. Rapper meets gamer, I wonder how